Hey there, once again from the CSN Centers for Academic Success. This is the final part of an 8-part series on essential skills to know for your English course. If you don't know already, it's worth repeating. Visit the centers at any of the main campuses because you know that they know more than what I know. Now that we've hopefully refined all the skills needed to get to this point in the writing process, the last step is revising, and proofreading, and editing. But aren't all these things the same? I'm guilty of using the words revising, editing, and proofreading interchangeably, and many students tend to do that too. The fact is, they are all very different processes and come with their own methods of approach. You can think of each of these concepts in descending order, from broad to narrow. Revision deals with broad, big picture work. Editing, formal editing that is, typically takes place after revision and involves finer work with voice, pacing, transitions, and other detailed elements. And then we have proofreading, which should come last in this process. When you proofread, you make your final check for errors in sentence structure, grammar, verb tense, and punctuation. So let's take a look at each of these in closer detail. With revision, consider the word itself. You're re-envisioning your paper at this stage. Step back and ask yourself these questions. Is your paper directly responding to your assignment and its audience? Does it answer any questions that were posed? Is the argument clear? Check to see if any of your ideas need to be developed and if you've articulated the relationships among the research. Revision can require adding material, taking material away, working with the big strokes of the paper. It might involve changing the order of paragraphs and recrafting topic sentences and transitions. It may demand redrafting the introduction and checking the conclusion to see what might be brought up to the front of the paper. All of this is part of revising or re-envisioning your paper. Let's move on to formal editing. Here's where you should consider your paper as a writer or artist. Try reading your paper aloud, slowly, and in parts. Is the voice clear and confident? Is there a sense of rhythm and flow in each paragraph, each sentence? Do sentences connect up with one another like well-constructed joints? Editing occurs when you correct any awkwardness that may have occurred in the initial drafting or in revision, which can be very helpful to the big picture but creates problems within paragraphs. While editing, check the clarity and precision of your title and the accuracy of your references or works cited. Careful editing is critical to a polished, well-written paper. And finally, proofreading comes last and consists of a final sweep through your paper with an eye for errors. When proofreading, you make your final check for errors in sentence structure, grammar, verb tense, and punctuation. You'll also look for mistakes in spelling, use of quotations, citation details, and so on. This is also where you ensure your MLA formatting is polished. This is your final read-through of your paper, so it's your last chance to impress your reader and show your commitment to your work. Reading aloud at this stage or any other stage of the revision process can help you focus more carefully on your writing. Once again, let's listen to some final thoughts about this topic. Here is Professor Sagal with her top tips on revising and proofreading.
Hi, my name is Ann Sagal, and I've been an English professor at CSN since 2011. Here are my top tips for revising and proofreading. First, set your work aside for at least a few hours before you do the proofreading. That way you'll read what you actually wrote instead of what you meant to write. Next, make sure you read your work out loud before you turn it in. That's the easiest way to identify awkward sentences and silly typos. Lastly, make sure your work has a main point, know what it is and where it is, and get rid of anything in the essay that's not related to that main point. Those are my top tips. I hope you have a great experience with academic writing at the College of Southern Nevada.
Well, that's it. This is the end of our series on essential skills for your English course. We hope you gained a little something out of this. If not, that's okay. The CSN Centers for Academic Success can still give you a different perspective, even if I didn't manage to. Remember, academic writing and being an English student is a process, and there's always going to be something to learn along the way. I'll see you next time.